Hi, I'm back. It's me again. This is kind of a continuation from a video from earlier, where I was talking about, I'm not really good at all this. I really am not. I am much better behind the camera than I am in front of it. Always have been. Anyway, and I really enjoy taking pictures of, taking pictures of stuff, mostly abandoned houses, things that are supposedly haunted, whatever. Got into that about a little over 10 years ago. um Actually, no, I take that back. About 12 years ago, after I had a three-car accident, and that's kind of what set it off, I think. Anyway, um like I said, not I'm not the best when it comes to taking pictures and being behind the camera. I really enjoy it, but being in front of the camera, I really don't like it. I kind of I hate it. I don't want to say I hate it because I'm doing it. And I guess I figure, that over time, maybe I'll get a little bit better at it. I hope. Maybe not. I don't know. I can certainly attest to the fact that I definitely got better taking regular pictures. So anyway, um, I'm not real good at it, but there's a few things I wanted to share. Um, I've hit this. I thought it was 12 years. Actually, it wasn't 12 years. It's been more like about 15 years that when I first started traveling. I started traveling about 15 years ago, and there's a long, long story to how I got started in it, and I actually um do want to talk about that, but I guess I'm kind of going backwards. This is kind of like part part four, if you will. This is like kind of like the last few months of the last part. So, but when I started, like I said, I've been traveling for about 15 years, and when I started traveling, it wasn't really something that I was intent on doing. It's kind of something that I kind of fell into. There's a whole story, the whole backstory to all of that I'm really not going to go into. But I did get into it. Not I didn't really start traveling because I wanted to, or rather, let me rephrase that. I started traveling because I wanted to, but I didn't start sleeping in my car because I wanted to. That was something that I was kind of forced into. So I that wasn't a choice. And the second time that I did it, second, third, whatever, those weren't really times that I wasn't my choice either. Again, I like to travel, but to begin with, it wasn't really a choice. I left home, I left my house because at the second time, I was with my ex-husband, and he's an alcoholic, and things would get volatile, things would get bad, and I would end up having to leave, and I would be very angry. And then after a day or two, I always felt better. Once I got out on the road and was traveling and taking my pictures and exploring and visiting places, I always felt better. Always. Then, probably later, we broke up. I ended up being with someone else. Uh, that went south. I ended up just hitting the road. That was my choice. I hit the road, started traveling. Actually, before I met that boyfriend, I bought myself a Chevy Impala. I took that car on like 4 cross country trips. Anyway, after I left, transmission failed in the car. Anyway, I had to get rid of it. Anyways, um, got another car. Went turned around, went back to California again. That was my choice, partly my choice, because after that, my ex-husband and I tried to share a house. Didn't work out. That didn't work out. Anyway, but as far as how I really got into it 15 years ago, I will come back. I would like kind of talk about that a little bit and kind of because there's some other things, not just the whole going into my car, sleeping in the car, traveling in the car, being in the car, that I want to talk about. There's some other stuff that happened that I definitely want to talk about. And that's something completely different. Anyway, but this last time I lived with my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend, for about a year, and it got to the point where he is controlling. He's controlling, he's possessive, and I think I said this in another video, and it got to a point where I couldn't tolerate it any longer. It was just too much. It was too stressful. It was just, I guess, was toxic, I guess, because it was just, at least that's what I'm told. I know it was stressful and it wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for my health. I know I got sick. I was sick for months and months, and I think a lot of it had to do with the stress. So I left in July. I actually, I think I said in another video, I went out in May for like a little short trip, and then I came back, stayed with him for a few weeks. In July, I left. That was it. That was it. I finally said, that's it. No more. I'm not going to do this anymore. So I left in July, and I've been back out on the road since July. So now it's been, wow, 6 months. 6 months. I had no idea. I mean, I guess it doesn't really feel like, I mean, it's crazy that it doesn't even feel like 6 months. And I haven't been 6 months in the same car. I started out in another car, and that car started having problems, and I had to stop driving it. And now I'm something else, which I like less, and I am looking around for something else. So that's kind of where I'm at now. Right now, I'm just kind of I don't want to say drifting, because I am working, but you know, as far as everything else besides work, I'm kind of drifting. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to find another car. I have been looking for a van for a while, but when I started out, I about 2 years ago, I found this Dodge Ram 1500 Custom. Really nice van. I really wanted that van, but the seat was all messed up, and because it was a conversion van, I couldn't find another seat for it. And I looked everywhere. The dealership that the van was at marked the van down a lot. It was a 2002, marked it down a lot in an effort to get rid of it, but I could not find a seat, and the seat, I was able to test drive it, but the seat was not quite close enough for me. I could just barely depress the brake pedal. So, and anyway, they couldn't fix it, and I couldn't find another seat, so I had to give up on that idea. Hated it. I was depressed when I left the dealership. I was because I really didn't want that van. Aside from the fact it was a V8 and it was a gas guzzler, I still wanted it. At that time, the salesman at the dealership actually pointed out that with all the new vans, like the Dodge Grand Caravan, I guess Toyota Sienna, Odyssey, all of them, all have stow and go seats. And because they have stow and go seats, you can either take the seats out or just whatever, stow and go. And you can actually modify it and put a bed or whatever in. So he pointed that out. And then some stuff happened, you know, and that was a couple of years ago before I met my ex-boyfriend. And I guess that, you know, just things got in the way, you know, and I quit looking. Or at least I didn't completely quit looking, but I, for the most part, quit looking. I was with him, I was working, I had a lot of other stuff on my plate, so it kind of fell, you know, and I was at home most of the time. You know, then the pandemic hit this you know, a few months back, and then it just fell by the wayside. So now I'm in kind of a, you know, I don't want to say a bad situation, but a different situation, a situation car wise that because one car is pretty much scrap. I took it to the dealership a few months back. It's actually been to more than one shop. It's been to a few, but they've been unable to figure out what's wrong with it, and they replaced part after part, and finally, a few weeks ago, they called me up and said, "This is it. We're going to try to work something out. I already owe them $1,000, and I've got to tow, and I'm going to have to pick the car up and get AAA to tow it off the dealership lot. So hopefully they can reduce that somewhat. But regardless, the car still, I can't do anything with the car except take it to take it to my house and just park it. That's it, park it. And anyway, there's more to all of that too. There's a lot more to this story as to why I'm not at my house. Actually, the house was a rental house, and it needs some work, and there's a whole lot going on there too, which hopefully I'll come back and I'll try to continue that. But anyway, the main reason I moved out of my ex-boyfriend's house back in July. Some other stuff happened with the rental house. My ex-husband is living there doing the work. It needs a lot of work, and a lot of more work than the work I did. Put about $30,000 into it about 5 years ago, and now it needs a bunch more. And right now he's living there to do some of the work. I haven't really had the money to buy the materials to do the work. Long story. Anyway, he's living there, and that in and of itself is a problem because he's good at what he does. So, but if he drinks, it's volatile. It's just, anyway, I don't want to go into that anymore. It's too depressing. It's irrelevant, really. This is where I'm at right now. So, right now, I'm looking for another car, and hopefully I find something that I like. Anyway, so I just kind of wanted to, I'm starting at the end, but I will come back later and talk about how I ended up getting into the whole, getting the travel bug, if you will, or, sleeping in the car. Sleeping in the car, by the way, I hate motels. As I said, anyway, I posted another video. Hopefully this video will go out. Hold on. Hopefully this video will go out before the other video, because I posted another video. I created another video with some pictures I took of a church and some other stuff. Anyway, and I'm going to try to make sure that video goes out before this video. So that it's kind of a little bit in order, but not completely in order. And then I have another video I wanted to put out, but I actually posted exactly where I was. And I'm not really the skittish type, so I don't really worry that much about people, knowing where I'm at. But, I do have to practice some safety precautions. So that video won't go out until after I'm gone from this area. If just put that way, that video won't go out until, because and I did not want to go back and redo the video. I didn't want to edit. I didn't want to trial. I just left it because I figured, what the heck? I posted exactly where I was. I was at a truck stop, and I posted exactly where I was at what truck stop. Kind of like an idiot. So I'll just go back and, I'll post that later after I'm gone from this area. Anyway, right now, as I said in the last video, because these videos are like right together, I'm going in Walmart. That's where I'm at right now. I'm at a Walmart. I'm getting ready to go in and get, so I'm looking for a couple things. And then I'm going to head to wherever it is I stop for the night, which will probably be a truck stop. and I'll eat something or watch a little TV, probably eat a little snack. I just got through eating. And, you know, just watch a little TV and then call it a day. So, good night to everyone.